This time on episode 243 of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., we'll be talking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The End, the Marvel News Roundup, and listener feedback.
I'm Lacey from Just One More Fix, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual host. Check out all the other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
You have been granted clearance by Director Alfonso Mack Mackenzie. Stand by for a S.H.I.E.L.D. debriefing. All information to be discussed here is classified and may only be discussed among agents granted clearance by the S.H.I.E.L.D. Director.
Now it's time for your scheduled debriefing. I'm Director SP.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Consultant Michelle.
Welcome to Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., a Marvel Comic Universe fan show. This show is recorded on Sunday, May 20th, 2018, live from the Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. studios and broadcast galactic-wide via www.geeks.live. Ladies, happy National Take Your Parents to the Playground Day.
So I first read that as Take Your Pants to the Playground Day.
Well,
different holiday.
Yeah.
I guess you have to be clothed, but you might not necessarily need pants.
Please take your pants with you when you go to the playground. You're going to end up in like the backseat of a police car if you don't.
Have bottoms on. Let's just say that.
Okay, because you could wear a skirt, you could wear a kilt, you could wear shorts.
A sarong.
Yeah, something like that. You don't necessarily have to be wearing pants.
Yeah.
But you do have to take your parents.
Yes.
My parents don't live in this state.
Both you and your parents should have your junk covered.
That is not an image I needed to see right now.
Yep, don't Winnie the Pooh that.
I did not intend this conversation to go this way, but with this crew, I'm not surprised.
You know us.
I would say a joke from Deadpool 2, but I don't want to spoil that movie because it just came out.
That movie is amazing, y'all.
We will be talking about Deadpool 2 in our next episode, but for now, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a fan-based podcast on the ABC television show Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. still alive. The Marvel's Defenders series is over on Netflix, Legion on FX, possibly The Gifted over on Fox, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the Marvel comic book universe in general.
Because it really is a magical place.
If you'd like to talk to us about magical places, you can visit our website, legendsofshield.com.
If you'd like to leave us a voice message so we can hear your wonderful voice talking to us about magical places, you can send us a voicemail at 844-THE-BUS-1. That's 844-843-2871.
You can send us Facebook messages and memes about magical places on our Facebook page, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Podcast.
You can tweet at us about your magical places at Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You can watch our magical faces talking about magical places on YouTube at youtube.com/GonnaGeek.
And you can tell your Amazon device to enable Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. skill to hear us on your Amazon device talking about magical places.
And remember, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a proud member of the GonnaGeek.com network.
So they might not be proud of us.
Has magical place started sounding like a euphemism to you guys?
I mean, everything sounds like a euphemism to me, so.
It's kind of weird. I've done an accidental rewatch of the first 3 episodes of season 1, and to hear, you went to Tahiti, and him automatically going, it's a magical place. And it's just like, whoa.
It's where you learn how to parasail.
We'll talk about that one later.
We will indeed. So we all watched the last episode. We're going to get right into it. So here we go. The most current episode, not series finale, but season 5 finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was titled The End. And I think very appropriately, right, Haley?
Right, because when the grandpa finished telling the story, he closed the book and said, "The end." And little tiny Fred Savage was happy that he got to hear the tale.
Even if it was a kissing story.
So, Lauren, I don't think that's exactly what happened in this episode. So,
but you can't deny it was a kissing story.
That's well, okay, true, but there was no Fred Savage.
So, you made out with May.
No, this was possibly the end of the world. And what it ended up being was the end of Talbot and the end of, as far as we know, this particular reality loop. Like, we finished the loop. It's not going forward because the world did not get destroyed.
It was so deceptive because it could have been a series finale. I think, and we'll talk about that later, but you're right. It had other meanings to it, like the end of the loop, like the end of the story that we have right now. So yeah, I think the title kind of worked, but I think they could have changed it to something else once they actually got renewed, which we'll talk about in a second as well. But before we get there, Michelle, we have to talk about the creative team behind this episode, including the director. So who stepped into the director's chair for this episode?
This episode was directed by showrunner Jed Whedon, has 3 directing credits since 2008, including commentary, the musical, The Guild, Do You Want to Date My Avatar, and 2 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Who bought the video, The Guild, Do You Want to Date My Avatar? Because I totally did. Did anybody else buy it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the video and like just the song. The audio version.
I think I have the audio version too, but anyway, that was fun. And knowing who directed it versus when I didn't know who directed it at the time, it just makes so much sense. Now, Haley, there was a little bit of an unknown that wrote this episode, and who was that happen to be?
So it was written by one Jed Whedon. He has 11 writing credits since 2008, including 19 episodes, 20 episodes now of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Also an episode of Axeman, 2 of Spartacus, 16 of Dollhouse, 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man.
Indeed. So basically, his name, since he's the showrunner, is on every single episode. It was a little difficult to run through his IMDb credits to pick out the 20 that he actually wrote or was co-writer of. But yeah, a lot of them were obvious big episodes like the pilot, 084, Turn, Aftershocks, SOS Part 2, Ascension, Orientation Part 1 at the beginning of this season, The Real Deal, which was the 100th episode, which we spoke about a couple of months ago, and this episode of The End. So yeah, Jed Whedon definitely has not just a laissez-faire showrunner. He's in there, he's doing the writing and a little bit of the directing of it, but he was not the only writer of the episode, Lauren.
No, he was not. He is usually part of a writing team with his wife. Or should I say, he's part of a writing team as Maurissa Tancharoen's husband. Maurissa Tancharoen is our other writer, and she has 9 writing credits on IMDb, including Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog, 1 episode of Drop Dead Diva, 6 episodes of Dollhouse, 1 of Spartacus, 1 of Ultimate Spider-Man, and 15 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she's pretty awesome in her own right, so y'all should check her out. And her Twitter's a pretty fun follow.
I thought she had more Spartacus episodes than that under her belt, 'cause she was the showrunner for a while.
Yeah, like she's everywhere on like the behind-the-scenes stuff on the DVDs.
I don't doubt it. IMDb only credits her as writing 1 episode, but of course, as the show.
Yeah, what it probably is, you know, you're there in the writer's room, but
You only get the 1 writing credit.
I know there's like a certain amount of, like, there's a certain amount of stuff you have to do to get like written by credit, even though everybody works on it in the writer's room.
Right, like on Buffy, all the other writers always talk about how, yeah, they wrote a script, but then they get people telling them, oh, that was my favorite line, and they're like, oh, Joss wrote that line. So Joss Whedon doesn't have a lot of writing credits, but he wrote a lot of the show.
Yeah, definitely. And he has influence over this one, too, because he co-created the series and actually helped write.
I question how involved he's ever actually been in this show.
No.
Yeah, he did the first episode, and
Right.
beyond that,
That's what I was just going to say. He was involved in the first episode, and then he doesn't have any more series credits beyond that, but he was involved in the creation of the show. So
yeah, I think it's much more Jed and Marissa's baby.
it is, and we are very fortunate to have them on the show because it was just an amazing season. It's been a good series so far, and I can't wait, I guess, for the next season. I didn't think we were going to get one, but we did. More on that in a second. So we need to still get through the creative things of the episode, including the ratings of the episode. And ABC aired this on Friday, May the 8th, the end, to a live rating of 1.86, which happened to be the same as the
May
previous
18th.
week. What did I say?
May 8th. That's fine.
Okay. Friday, May 18th, 2018, to a live rating of 1.86, which was steady from 1.86 the previous week with The Force of Gravity. So I'll call that a minor win. Of course, I'm guessing people tried to come to the show after seeing Avengers Infinity War and was like, where is this? I don't understand what's going on with this. So.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's going to be coming to this show now after a movie, because if they were coming after a movie, that's when they started watching the pilot.
Right. And that's what I was just going to say. They probably started with the pilot and was
No. I'm saying like after when the show first started, that's when they would become because of a movie. Because the first episode came like right after Iron Man 3, I think.
There's so much Marvel content that it's hard to keep up with everything. I mean, if you wanted to watch all the movies alone before Avengers Infinity War, that was a major undertaking because you had, 17 movies, 18 if you count Spider-Man. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. All right. We've been skirting around it several times, but stating it several times, but this series did get renewed for a 6th season, which will start a year from now in the summer of 2019. Now, Haley, I know you have a lot to say about it, so why don't you start off?
Well, I'd been talking with some friends, in real life for a while about the end of Infinity War and the Snapocalypse and what the world would be like directly after that. And one of my friends had been saying, she wanted to see that world for a while. Like she wanted to see people trying to live in that world. And my thought was, if there's another season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that entire season would take place in that world because it would be airing before the next movie came out. And I was interested in seeing that story be told. And that is clearly not what we're going to get now if it's not coming until summer of 2019. They're not going to be making new episodes until after the next Avengers movie.
I think the obvious rebuttal to that is they'd have to get rid of half the cast. We've talked about statistics before, and that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. But to show the effects of the world, you'd have to do something along those lines. I don't think they just wanted to deal with that. So it was a convenient way to get around it. I question whether they should have had a next season at all. I mean, it's set up to do some pretty cool things. We're going to be without Phil Coulson, allegedly. Okay, I think we're ready for it. What do you think?
I think that somehow Coulson's going to live. Somehow Thanos is going to snap him and he's going to vanish. And then when they snap him back, he's going to be like, I'm fine, I guess.
But that would go totally against his wishes that he has stated multiple times during this season that he doesn't want another life.
No. He doesn't want his life unnaturally extended again.
Yeah.
This is magic. This isn't unnatural.
Yeah. Or maybe they could meet a magician. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to be getting rid of Coulson so easily. And this isn't going to be the last time we see Coulson between now and then. Remember, Coulson's going to be in Captain Marvel. That sweet, sweet 90s flashback Coulson.
So are they going to Princess Leia him up?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Having Coulson return will upset my mom because it's like Coulson has had his time. It's fine if he dies and goes off into his magical place.
What if we get, it's basically 2 shows in one. It's the one show is, our new young agents doing their thing. And the other show is House Hunters Tahiti. And it's May and Coulson just living this weird little domestic life at the end of every episode.
I could see Coulson doing that. It's hard to see May doing that.
Exactly. It's why it'll be a nice little fun stinger at the end of every episode.
I think she can handle the few days or weeks that Coulson allegedly has left, but I don't think she's planning on the rest of her life on Tahiti.
See, which is why it would be funny if it turns out, you know how sometimes people will be like, oh, you have X amount of days or X amount of months left. And then because, by the way, I know I've seen people complaining about this. This is not your doctors like giving you a time limit. This is them saying, well, based on how you're presenting, this is kind of an estimate of what we've seen previously. So yeah, people outlive the estimates all the time. So what if like he outlives his estimate and suddenly May is there with him just months, years later, and she's there gritting her teeth like, this was not what I signed up for. And suddenly she and Coulson are having to be domestic ex-spies. And Coulson's just perfectly happy with it. He finds himself a job. He's like...
Nope, he's going to own a bar.
Teaching history.
Yeah, he's teaching history.
Fair enough.
May, I think, would be the one owning a bar just so she can have an excuse to start bar fights.
I remember they did own S.H.I.E.L.D. owned a bar at one point in time, which was the entrance to their secret lair. You remember that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also owned a barbershop.
I think May would be the one who's like trying to, take S.H.I.E.L.D. gigs on the side without telling Coulson.
She's like running off with Bobby and Hunter.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We saw a calmer, more domestic May when she was the mother of Robin. So she does have that side. She doesn't always have
but
to
she
be
was
fighting.
also like living on a spaceship and leading S.H.I.E.L.D. agents still.
Yeah, she was still doing action-y things, so she had an outlet.
Yeah, I think she's fine being a 9-to-5 spy and then going home to her domestic life. I don't think she could be like retired and at home in her domestic life.
Yeah. Like she can't be a stay-at-home ex-spy.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of time to speculate on season 6 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In the meantime, I think we need to move on with this episode, The End. What do you guys think? Should we move on?
Talk about like all the episode and not the last 2 minutes. Fine.
Yeah, fine.
I guess.
So Michelle, we start
write our own fanfic on the show.
Go ahead, you write your own fanfic. We just have to talk about the rest of the episode while you're doing it.
Fitz isn't really dead, so that interrupts my plans for, Sky Simmons, Hurt Comfort.
I mean, we could still have the Sky Simmons Hurt Comfort. It's going to take a while to find Cryo Fitz.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start talking about the episode like we always do every week with Michelle's mom's take, who did watch the episode, and she's kind of our barometer of the muggles, the non-comic book fans out there, because she does enjoy the show and she's not a comic book fan. So Michelle, what did your mom think about the episode?
She enjoyed it. She likes that Mac is in charge. She likes the shift in dynamic. She's looking forward to that. She was upset about what happened to Fitz, but after the episode, we talked about it, and then we realized about frozen Fitz, and then we had a very interesting conversation about that. But she actually thinks this could have worked as a series finale. She would have been satisfied if it had gotten canceled and this was the last episode, because the series finale of Once Upon a Time aired before this, and that was just awful. They actually repeated some of the same lines that they did from the last
last season should have been the end of Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, because I remembered that because I thought it was wonderful and beautiful, and they talked about how it really wasn't endings, it was happy beginnings and new journeys, and they said the exact same thing in that episode. So she's like, that's not how you do it. What S.H.I.E.L.D. did, that's how you do it.
I did enjoy the ending. I thought this could have served as a series finale, and depending on what the next season is, I always go back to Stargate SG-1 because it had 2 endings. It had the ending to season 8, where you had the original team around the Colonel O'Neill's lake, where there wasn't supposed to be any fish, but they had changed stuff, so there was actually fish in it. So
that was a fantastic ending.
It was. But then they went on to 2 other seasons, which a lot of people were kind of like, but at the end of it, it was okay. Yeah, it was okay. It was good, right? So that's kind of what
we got Vala. Like a lot of Vala.
Oh, Vala Maldoran. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. And Ben Broder. So this.
Oh, yeah, him too.
Right. This could end up sort of like that, where this is kind of like that season 8 finale to SG-1, and then you get a couple of other seasons. It's just, I'm glad we have episodes again, and they're not bad, but they're not as good as the rest of the series was. So we'll just see what pops up in season 6. So yeah, I agree with Michelle's mom. This could have been a good series finale. The only exception is you had the Fitz dying and then you didn't rescue the Fitz that went into the frozenness, and you didn't find out what happened with Deke. So this is kind of 2 cliffhangers that I would have been like, but it still worked.
Well, and so this could have been a series finale. They knew that going in, that this might be the end. I think that's the biggest reason why they didn't do anything with the Thanos stuff, because they knew they weren't going to be able to resolve it if they didn't get another season.
Plus, I don't think my heart could have taken it. I don't think anyone's heart could have taken it.
But I think if they had known, like, hey, we're coming back in the fall and doing 22 episodes from there, I think the end of this episode would have been the snap and half the cast disappearing.
Yeah, it would have been a long time dealing with it, though. So I'm not, I don't know what the fan base was dwindling anyway, because the ratings had gone down. I believe it was holding steady the first season around 5, and now we're under 2. I don't know what ABC really needs to justify it. I'm pretty sure that Disney stepped in again and said, oh yeah, you've given these guys one more season.
Yeah, well, again, I was thinking maybe there were creative reasons that they wanted to tell a certain story between their 2 Avengers movies, and that's why it was getting a 6th season. But then I found out that it wasn't coming till the summer, so I don't know what it is that they creatively need this show for.
I read that S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of their biggest Live +7 DVR gained shows, that a lot of people watch this time shifted. And that's one of the reasons why they think it's okay for them to do it in the summer, because a lot of people wait to watch S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what aspect that Wendy Miracle brought into it, because she's coming over from being the showrunner of Arrow. So she does have a comic book background as well as an ABC background with Desperate Housewives. So I just don't know what additive things that brought to the table of having Wendy Miracle around as well. At this point, it's a done deal, and we're just grateful for it. We just have to wait a year for it. And normally it'd be like, oh, I really need to see the next season. But right now, there's just so much Marvel content out there. It's like, good. I know it's there, but I can wait because we have other things to watch in the meantime. So,
I don't think Marvel is going to let Wendy Miracle anywhere near this show. I think Wendy Miracle is going to go off and do some sort of Desperate Housewives. She's going to go back to her roots of doing that sort of thing. I really think Disney is like, you keep her away from S.H.I.E.L.D.
I didn't mean that. If that came across that, I know she's the head of creative content or content creation, not necessarily an individual show, but she probably weighed in the decision to renew
So
S.H.I.E.L.D.
she just decides how many time slots Shonda Rhimes gets is her job.
No, she has a deal to create content for ABC. She's not part of.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the deal that they have. She has the deal to create stuff. It's a Shonda Rhimes type of deal where she's just creating stuff for ABC.
And they need help in that department, by the way, because the whole designated survivor thing really pisses me off. Did anybody else watch that show, by the way?
No, I didn't think it looked like it was going to be very good.
Don't ever watch any episode whatsoever. It will just piss you off, because they had the last episode and it was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
So ABC needs some help.
But I'm wondering, like, what genre they need her to create, because what she's done in the past, it seems like Shonda Rhimes is doing and doing better.
Yeah, but Shonda Rhimes got taken by Netflix.
Ooh. But she did just create 2 new shows for them before she left.
Right, but that fulfilled her contract before being bought by Netflix. So she fulfilled whatever she had to do with ABC, and now she got free, and Netflix was like, here's a whole bunch of money, and Shonda's like, peace out.
Because Netflix was really hurting for new content.
Yeah, because 1,000 episodes of stuff is just not enough.
Well, I think they've got like 700 something original shows.
They can use 701.
They could make another season of Sense8. I mean, whatever.
They can make The Expanse. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly. I really want The Expanse to be renewed somewhere or picked up somewhere, so that'd be fun. And if you take a look at Netflix original content, some of the stuff that they have that's original content or listed has actually been created for other things, and it was brought over, and Netflix owns the rights, so they call it original content, but it's not really original content.
They just have the distribution rights.
Yeah. All right, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, Michelle's mom, so thank you very much for those insights, and pay attention to the post-credit scenes for possible some audio of Michelle's mom's reaction to the episode. But we're going to talk about the magical place, because this has been ongoing for 5 seasons, and it's been something that Haley has been wanting for a few years now. So Haley, since this was your baby, so let's talk about it, the magical place.
Right? I've been saying for years the show should end with Phil and May on the beach, probably in Tahiti, while, the young kids go off and run S.H.I.E.L.D. I've always thought that Daisy should be the one in charge, but Mac is in charge now, so that's okay. She can be the head of the spear and let Mac point her in the right direction. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, Daisy and Mac are the new May and Coulson, except probably without the boning.
Probably.
I mean, Yo-Yo'd get mad, but I guess Yo-Yo can join in, but...
Yo-Yo seems like she would be possessive.
She seems, yeah. Yo-Yo and Mac seem like, very monogamous, so...
Yep.
Crazy stuff happens on spaceships. Also
true.
Indeed. By the way, I don't know for sure, but we have to comment on this. I think we got a shout out because they mentioned that they will always miss the bus, and I think that's us.
Yeah. Clearly, they listened to our show, and they were saying hello to us. So, hello.
Yeah. How do you think they figured out what they wanted to do at the end of the episode? Of course, they've been listening.
Indeed. So they're off into space on the bus. So we'll always call it Zephyr 1, the bus. It's just what we're going to do. And they're going off into space, and they had the, Millennium Falcon cockpit moment at the end where they're all standing there. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Including Piper.
Yes, Piper's one of the team.
It almost felt also the new pilot guy whose name I don't think we ever got.
Isn't it like Davis?
I want to say Nick.
Isn't it like Davis or something?
Sure. Either of those could be right. I have no idea.
He's pilot dude.
I'm checking IMDb. Like, they've said his name, I just can't remember.
They need a pilot dude because May's back on Tahiti.
Yeah. Well, I almost expected them to use the Guardians of the Galaxy line. What should we do next? Something good, something bad, a little of both. Like, it felt like that moment.
But Mac's on their moral center, so they're not going to say we're going to do something bad.
That's why you need Deke there.
Davis, Agent Davis.
Okay.
What's his first name?
Agent.
Agent
Davis.
Yeah, he's listed since 2013 as Agent Davis.
Maximilian Osinski. Okay. Osinski? Yeah. Well, good on you, buddy. You got the controls on Z1.
I love the moment when Daisy realizes that she's not the best and leader and goes to Mac that he's the moral center, because Mac realizes that hope is what unites them, and he brings the team together. He calms everyone down. It was just a beautiful moment. And she's like, whoever agrees with me, raise their hand. And everyone's like, yep. And Mac's just standing there like, wait, what happened?
After their first attempt at voting went disastrously wrong because May took the voting out of their hands. By the way, Agent Davis, I think I might have mentioned this previously and then forgot, is Mr. Deishan Lockman.
Yep. Married since January 24th, 2015.
Yeah. Mr. Jiaying. I wonder if they met on the show.
They had a reunion a couple episodes ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She was looking significantly worse for wear.
So he's Daisy's stepdad.
So the first thing Mac wants to do when he's in charge is save people.
That's good, though.
It's like, yeah, somebody needs to be doing that.
Well, yeah, since a whole spaceship came down and crushed the high levels of Chicago's sky rises. Talbot.
Also, it made me so happy that they're like, S.H.I.E.L.D. is here. And someone was like, oh, thank God. Remember how, like, a couple seasons ago, everyone was like, S.H.I.E.L.D., boo.
Well, everyone was just like, I don't know how to deal with this situation. And then somebody shows up and it's like, you don't have to deal with this situation. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Also, didn't that cop look a lot like Patton Oswalt?
I didn't notice.
A little bit. Patton Oswalt actually played a cop at one point in time in Justified, by the way. So if you want to have fun with that, go watch Justified. Amazing series, by the way. Highly recommended for me. So, yeah, Chicago's not used to dealing with alien invasions. That's New York.
Yeah, they are.
That's New York.
Didn't you ever watch Jupiter Ascending?
Yeah, but not in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, aliens only attack New York.
It's nice to see the action go someplace else than New York.
It really is.
Wouldn't it have been great if there were like some people that just moved there from New York, like, oh, finally we can live somewhere we don't have to worry about aliens attacking all the time.
Alien smooshes their car. I mean, technically, this time it was Talbot and not really.
Yeah, but you don't know that when the ship comes crashing in.
Oh, that's true. I mean, it's an alien ship. I guess you're right.
So it's a big, huge ship, several city blocks, and 6 S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are going to evacuate everybody.
Also, how many people died on the top floors of those buildings already anyways?
Yeah.
Oh, a whole lot. A whole lot.
There's more than 6 because if you look, there's other bodies back there doing stuff.
Yeah, it's all those people that have been on the team who are not named.
All right, so big high rise in big city, going to take several dozen people going into each building. And
I
how
would
many
assume that like the police and fire people that were already there were aiding in the evacuation process. It's just now they have a place to evacuate people too.
And Yo-Yo.
But how many people could you actually fit on that thing? Is what I was thinking.
I know, it got bigger all of a sudden, actually, I was thinking.
I'm guessing they're going to risk the fire code to try to save people.
And we didn't get Lola. There was no Lola in this episode.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to, when they were getting off the plane, to be getting into Lola and driving Lola off somewhere. Yeah, that was nice.
That was sweet. So I meant to say this at the top of the episode. I mentioned it when I was tweeting. I posted picture evidence. I was basically in tears through most of the episode, just kind of on and off. And then basically for the entire last, 15, 20 minutes.
Well, it starts off in the hospital room and the whole team arguing back and forth. And then Yo-Yo steals the serum. May breaks the odium bottle. And then there's this big team argument, right? And Mac comes in and says, Hope is holding us together, which was, Hope has several different meanings.
Callback.
Yeah. His daughter in the framework was named Hope, and his daughter in real life, before she died was
before she died.
In the show.
We also had to watch them kill Fitz twice, because first we saw him get crushed, and then it's like, oh, his arm comes out of the rocks, he's gonna be okay. And then it's like, oh, JK, he really is dying.
Yeah, so I'm looking and I'm like, okay, he's fine. But then I look at the look on their face, I'm like, you can't do this to me, And they show it, I'm like, oh my God, he's not quite bisected, but close. And so Scott was in his office, and apparently the sound of my choked wailing drew him out.
He's heard you watch TV before.
I know, but
he should know better for a season finale. He should know to be ready for that.
Yeah, it was apparently very upsetting sounding. And I was burrowed under a blanket. And again, if you go to our Twitter, I posted a picture in response to a Donna girl saying, this has been my face for the last 5 minutes. And she looked shocked. And I posted a picture of me, and I'm buried in a blanket, and my face is swollen and snotty. And yeah, it was not a happy time. And like, I was screaming at the TV, and it was upsetting. It was so upsetting. And How could you do this to us?
There's so many moments that cause that, like Coulson appearing to the team, but not actually taking the serum. So you finally see him in the Quinjet holding himself up with his robo hand. That's the only thing that's holding him up, his robo hand.
That was, again, upsetting.
Yeah, exactly. There were so many moments like this that was like in the show, especially when they had only one way to go with the serum. It was to save Coulson. That was the only way that they were going to be able to use the serum correctly. And Coulson didn't take it, but he did hand Daisy her suit to suit up. And I didn't realize this until right before we were recording this episode. And the ladies kind of said, oh yeah, the serum was hidden in there by Coulson. So he knew what he was doing.
Yep. Like part of me was like, okay, yeah, I know this is going to happen, but I was sort of in denial too. And then it happened and again started wailing.
Right. So Talbot takes Daisy up, I don't know, a couple of miles or something like that, and then body slams her. I don't know how she survived all that, but wow.
Inhuman.
Okay, fair enough. And so she's laying there and Talbot takes her around because he wants to get the rest of the gravitonium, which Robin marked where it was on the planet, and it was half the planet. Pretty much how it ended up breaking up in the future of what you saw. So he's getting all this gravitonium from all over half the planet. And he decides the best way to do it is to integrate Quake's powers into him and suck her up. And still don't know if that was a gravitonium or him, but you know, it was hungry.
Yeah, that was never really answered. So what I was expecting to happen was that they were going to put the serum in Talbot and it was going to fix him and he was going to be all upset and he was going to like nobly sacrifice himself or something. What I wasn't expecting was the Daisy power up and for her to
blast him into space.
So I made this joke on Twitter. Do any of y'all watch anime?
A little bit.
Yes.
Do any of y'all watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No.
I think I've seen an episode.
Okay. I first of all, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic series. Again, from the name, it is weird as hell. The second arc is my favorite arc. And it has my favorite JoJo, Joseph Joestar. And spoilers, at one point he shoots a vampire into space. And this is exactly what happened. And we're like, wow, he gave him a JoJo's death. This is amazing. And then literally right after that, I am not done laughing about, wow, JoJo's. And then they kill Fitz. So that was some serious mood whiplash. And I'm still not over it.
The way Talbot went actually reminded me of Lincoln. How Lincoln died.
Oh.
A little bit, but Lincoln did self-sacrifice. I don't think Talbot self-sacrificed.
No.
Well, no. But the whole space death thing.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So Talbot has said before that he needed to take the spacecraft with him to continue breathing because he couldn't breathe in space. So do you think that he's actually dead because he can't breathe in space, or do you think he gets frozen in space and that maintains him until somebody can rescue him and revive him?
Oh no, he's dead.
I think it's entirely possible that the gravitonium has done something to preserve him and he's not really dead.
It's just self-preservation with the gravitonium, really.
I think he's dead just because you want to wrap up the arc. You want to bring a new villain into season 6. You want to do something fresh and new, especially if season 6 is about, hey, somehow Coulson is living again. And maybe that is whatever causes that to happen is the new villain. Maybe Coulson's the villain in season 6. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all.
Well, and season 6 is going to be in a post-snapped world. Even if that's resolved in the next Avengers movie, like, they still went through something. So I bet we see flashbacks in season 6 to them dealing with that.
That'd be nice. Do we know how many episodes they have in season 6?
Nope. 13.
13?
Okay.
13 is the order they've got now. That could be extended. I mean, that happens all the time.
Well, 13 is basically, if you take a look at the summer months, the summer weeks, so you have basically from Memorial Day until end of September. So June, July, August, September, it's 4 months, roughly 16 weeks. And then you have to take a week off here or there for holidays. So 13 gets you through the summer until the fall TV season starts over.
Unless they decide to pick it up and run it through the fall as well, and then replace it with a mid-season show.
Okay. They could. I don't see it happening, but they could. I think this was a episode that, I mean, we talked about Fitz's death several times, not to bring it up again, but I think you had to have team sacrifice along the way. And I don't know if Coulson's death was enough of the team sacrifice for an event this momentous. I mean, they had to save the world, and you have to, generally in plot devices, you have to give up something in order to do something that big. Okay, Fitz is all right, but then Deke disappears. So I've got a question about that time dilation stuff. So Deke disappears, but Simmons is pregnant. So
we're fairly sure Simmons is pregnant. We're not confirmed, but we're
She did
sure.
just drink a bunch of whiskey.
She did, but that's okay. So it is not, you are not going to just like spontaneously miscarry or have like a 5-armed, two-headed
it's really
baby.
not harmful to the baby until brain development starts, which is after like 8 weeks or something. But
And even then, small amounts of alcohol are not potentially going to harm a developing fetus.
right. But also, like, our society has very, like,
All or nothing.
yeah, strict views about that thing, and people
Yeah.
are overly cautious about it.
Like, again, if you go back and what movie? Cocktail? The
Mhm.
Tom Cruise movie?
Yep.
There's a part where, like, the love interest is like, I'm pregnant. And then at the end of the movie is like chugging cocktails. So,
Well, and also,
times have
you know,
changed.
we watch a lot of TV and movies. One of the ways they signal to us is you see somebody noticeably not drinking
Yeah.
or, you know, throwing up for no reason.
Yeah. Throwing up, not drinking, suddenly not drinking coffee, that sort of thing. And when in reality, morning sickness varies from person to person or may not be in the morning. People may not. Again, I had a roommate who did not know she was pregnant until she had the baby. So things happen.
So wait, we're going to have a moment where Simmons is pregnant. They wake up frozen Fitz, and he looks at her and she's like, time is this beautiful fluid thing, and your future self came back and we had sex, and this is your baby, but not your baby because you were time displaced. But we got married, but not actually us. And I really do hope that you, who were from the past and you're frozen down here for a while, but I really do hope that we get married and all that type of
Also,
stuff.
here's our 30-year-old grandson.
First of all, another excuse for a party. Second of all, how many of y'all have seen Farscape?
Yep. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah. Again, the miracle of having two people in one timeline.
Right. But okay. So did Fitz, who is frozen, actually come back? Because he is the only one that didn't go to the future the way the rest of the team did.
He's floating somewhere.
Yeah, he's still in space.
Right. But the Fitz that was left with the team who died, was he going to survive, or was he going to flash out of existence like Deke, because that future never happened?
Who knows? That's the problem with playing with the timeline, is like, now you've got to make up new rules for time travel, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. So, I mean, he died, but did he really? He could have just blinked out of existence. And this was a way to handle it. I don't know. We have a whole year to figure this out, and hopefully some statements, interviews, panels by Maurissa, Jed, and whoever else to tell us what exactly happened with Fitz there. So, but I think in the end, we're going to find Fitz and Enoch again. We get to see Enoch again. That'll be fun.
It will be. Enoch was fun.
Okay. So that's it. Anything else to handle for the rest of the episode? Haley?
I don't think so.
Okay. Michelle?
What's interesting is that when everything was done and they're in the cockpit, I'm wondering if they just are like, okay, Deke is somewhere out there and that's cool. Or maybe Deke disappeared and they don't remember him, because they really are not like, we should look in on Deke just to make sure he's okay before we just go off into space.
Also, he never even told Daisy how he felt.
Well, there was that whole, I don't think I'm ready. So he's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Deke's a pretty decent dude.
Jeff Ward, amazing performance all season long. I mean, we've talked about it before, but very grateful to have him on the show for the year.
And I hope he comes back. I really do.
I really liked him when he came into present day time.
Yes. Yeah. Once we got fish out of water Deke won my heart.
He read a book on idioms.
And squirrels.
And squirrels.
So you can't get frightened by him again. Okay, so Lauren, any last words on the episode, season?
It would have worked great as a season finale, and I'm so glad we're getting more.
Indeed. I think this is now the perfect time for a rewatch, so we might all together rewatch a season and then talk about it again or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that offline and see where we go from here, but it's a perfect time for it, so we'll see what we can do. In the meantime, in 2 weeks, we'll come back and we'll talk about Deadpool 2. Apparently everybody's seen it but me, and we're not going to have an episode next week. So in 2 weeks, we'll talk about Deadpool 2 and we'll just go from there. So Lauren, in the meantime, since we're going to be taking a week off, if somebody wants to run around for additional geeky content, where would they go?
Well, one place you can go on our network is the official Gonna Geek show. In fact, in the GonnaGeek.com show number 239, Michelle fills in this round for SP while the crew talk the latest rounds of TV show renewals and cancellation announcements. This plus regular geek news in the official GonnaGeek.com show. So that's Gonna Geek show number 239, Gonna Talk 2018 through 2019 TV show cancellations and renewals.
I need to catch that myself, so I will be doing that. In the meantime, we're going to move on into some news.
All right, we've got some Netflix news to start this off, and Daredevil has cast Bullseye for season 3.
Yeah, so according to superbromovies.com, as well as several other places, so it isn't just one site, actor Wilson Bethel has been confirmed to play Bullseye in season 3 of Netflix's Daredevil. I have not checked to see what else this guy's been in.
Remember reading our Twitter feed when that news came out and everybody was saying finally we get Bullseye. Yeah. So.
Okay. So he was in Daredevil.
The movie.
He was cast. He's listed as in season 3 FBI agent for season 3. He was also in How to Get Away with Murder as Charles Mahoney. He is in The Astronaut. He was in The Astronaut Wives Club as Scott Carpenter. He was in Heart of Dixie as Wade Kinsella. These are all regular roles. So it's not just, one-off things. He was on Generation Kill as Evan Q-Tip Stafford. He was on The Young and the Restless for several years as Ryder Callahan. So yeah, he's been in quite a bit since 2004.
Well, good. And obviously, if you're going to be casting Daredevil, you're going to be doing some physical activities. So hope he's up to his fight choreography.
All right, next we've got some movie news. I think we've mentioned before that they're planning to do a Ms. Marvel movie, and now they're talking about who might write that movie.
So this is not official, but I put this article in because it has the Twitter conversation between Riz Ahmed, who will be appearing in the upcoming Venom movie later this year, and Mindy Kaling. Riz Ahmed said, so when does Marvel Studios want me, Mindy Kaling, and Kumail Nanjiani to get started on the Ms. Marvel screenplay?
Yes.
Mindy responded with, Riz, I'm obsessed with this comic book. I've read them all. I love Kamala Khan. And then the writers of the comic, Sana Amanat and G. Willow Wilson, flipped out.
Like
it's adorable. Yeah, because how often do you have famous people that you admire acknowledge your work and be like, oh, I love this thing. So I can't blame them. I just thought it was adorable. So.
Also, that would be like an amazing script.
I forgot to put this link in, but I also saw on Twitter that the current mayor of Jersey City, where the comic takes place, has offered to let them film at a discount there. So, yes.
Why not?
So, as we mentioned, we've all seen Deadpool except for Star Pie. But Warner Brothers is trying to get in on the Deadpool hype.
You remember how in Deadpool 1, there was a couple of Green Lantern jokes?
Yep.
Okay, well, no spoilers, but expect more Green Lantern jokes in this one because Ryan Reynolds seems at least able to make jokes about it. Warner Brothers put out a tweet on May 18th that said, we tried to put a ring on it, #Green Lantern, at Van City Reynolds. And there's a picture of him as Hal Jordan with the Green Lantern ring. And then a little bit later, they have a picture of, I'm blanking out on the character's name, and he's one of my favorite characters from the Green Lantern comics, so I feel very bad right now. But the birdfish dude. I'll remember it later. I'm going to remember it in like 3 hours, and I'm going to yell it out in public.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember it too, and it's just not coming to me.
But he's another one of the Green Lanterns, and he was voiced by Jeffrey Rush in the movie. And on the 19th, they said, sorry, at Van City Reynolds, we're going to need the ring back.
It's, I love when Green Lantern is brought up because he is my favorite, or the Green Lanterns are my favorite characters in the DC comic universe. I just wish they'd be able to do an on-screen adaptation that was better for people. I mean, I enjoyed the movie, but a lot of other people didn't. So
Tomar Ray.
Tomar, yeah,
Tomar
that's right.
Ray.
Which he has an interesting, in the Rebirth series, he has an interesting arc in there, which I don't know if I'm really 100% comfortable with, but I understand. And yeah, Green Lantern, good. And I'm grateful that Ryan Reynolds played the Green Lantern, but we really need to move on because he's obviously not going to play the Green Lantern again.
Can't imagine why not. So the Toronto police made a big arrest recently.
Yes, at PC Pappy said, the Toronto police do what the Avengers couldn't do. Stop Thanos. # job well done. # we're hiring. Blah, blah, blah. There's a picture of them. It's a publicity thing. Arresting somebody dressed as Thanos.
With the helmet Thanos.
Yeah, the helmet Thanos, not, shirt sleeveless, helmetless Thanos from the movie. By the way, there is a Twitter account that's a lot of fun called @ScanBC, and it's a police scanner from British Columbia. There's some wild stuff that goes on in British Columbia. Like people reporting things about like raccoons and...
Yep. Both Stephen and Neil, who both live in British Columbia, have amazing stories of living there.
Yeah. It's pretty great. Pro follow. Highly recommend.
So next we've got some news straight off of Instagram. There's some dating happening within the Marvel universes.
Inter-universe dating.
Lady Sif stumbled back into the 80s Coke world to start dating Ward Meacham.
Oh, I just snorted.
Not cocaine.
But not Coke.
Pavlov
Not
in response
Coke.
to the Coke discussion.
Not Coke. No, Tom Pelfrey posted on his Instagram, total smoke show at the Jersey Shore, and tagged Jamie Alexander, and it's the two of them at the beach together They are apparently dating. She had formerly been dating and then been engaged to very briefly to, I can't remember his name, but he was in Can't Hardly Wait, and he was the vampire dad in the Twilight movies.
Oh, what's his name? Then he was in Supergirl. I know who you're talking about. That guy.
Yeah. I can't remember his name right now. But they broke up a while ago, so now she's dating Tom Pelphrey.
Did her series get renewed?
Yes.
Yep.
Blind Spot is renewed, which means that Ashley Johnson is going to have to keep flying back and forth to Critical Role and either ditching or Skyping in to sessions.
Peter Facinelli.
Peter Facinelli, that's it.
All right.
Comic Palooza is this coming weekend, 1 week from today. I will have been tweeting out several of the things that I will be at. I will be recording panels. I will be hopefully getting some interviews to bring y'all. And if you are in the Houston area or this Texas area, or if you're just curious, the schedule has gone up. So go to comicpalooza.com/guest/schedule. I just lost my place. And look up the schedule, look up all the stuff. There's a big podcast track this year. Again, all the podcast people are super awesome. And I will see what I can bring you. Hopefully some pretty good Daredevil and Jessica Jones stuff. Maybe a Tom Holland panel. We'll see.
At which he will spill everything that he knows.
Probably Tom Holland and his mouth frog and all the spoilers you can get.
He is not scared by the Marvel snipers.
I like that they feed him false stuff, though.
So cute.
Well, they have to. I mean, if the guy's going to spill stuff, might as well give him stuff to spill.
Have you seen the interviews him and Benedict Cumberbatch? Because they gave him Benedict Cumberbatch as kind of a wrangler. So every time Tom starts talking, Benedict just kind of jumps in. It's pretty great.
Oh, good on you, Sherlock. All right. So with that, that's the end of the news, and we're going to move on in the feedback.
Speaking of Benedict Cumberbatch, on Twitter, @AdonnaGirl shared something about him at a water park.
So this week, because of all the sadness, I decided to share stuff that made me laugh. And this one made me laugh really hard. She retweeted Jesse McLaren and said, I took every shot from behind the scenes featurettes where Doctor Strange is in front of a green screen and edited him into a water park. And if you get the chance to watch this, watch it. It's only about maybe 15 seconds long, and it's amazing.
I need to watch that.
It's fantastic.
At Kodiak GWC shared another funny thing with us.
Comic Book Resources linked to Deadpool crashing Stephen Colbert's monologue for an Infinity War gag. It's really funny and exactly what we all expect to happens. I highly recommend watching it. Again, made me laugh.
I like the moment when Deadpool tries on Colbert's glasses. It was cute. And what did @Mr. Paracletes share with us?
Mr. Paraclete said, May and Coulson sitting in a tree, and then retweeted Ming Na, who said, best double entendre ever. Bravo, Mo Tancharoen and Jed Whedon. Because as it turns out, you remember when they said, I think I might take up parasailing?
Yes.
Well, at JZ HELLE on Twitter said, good God, I shouldn't have Googled parasailing. Now I won't be thinking about anything else until next year. #Valinda. At Urban Dictionary has a very different definition of parasailing.
I had no idea it was an Urban Dictionary.
Having wild sex. So we all know what they'll be doing in their magical place.
Alrighty then. I did not know that. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get this one out, and we are going to rocket into space this one out. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us for the 5 seasons, and we get another one, so we'll keep on going as long as there's Marvel content for us to review. So looking forward to the year hiatus and catching up on the rewatch and everything else Marvel.
Yeah, thank you to everyone that's listened with us all season, all series, all through all the things that aren't this series. We really appreciate every single one of you. And there is more to come, and probably will always be more to come. So thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for tweeting. Thank you for taking this 4-year plus long journey with us. And yeah, just I look forward to bringing y'all stuff from Comicpalooza. Look forward to tweets from our Twitter account all day. And just thank you guys. Y'all are great.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who interacts with us and gives us feedback. I'd also like to thank the writers of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and congratulate them on sticking the landing.
They did indeed, and they also got a reference to us in there. The bus! We need the bus back. Until next time, I'm Director SP.
I'm Agent Haley.
I'm Agent Lauren.
And I'm Consultant Michelle.
See you guys next time. Bye.
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 Thank you for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, go to gonnageek.com and you will find all our contact information and other shows. You can also visit legendsofshield.com where you'll find our complete archive of podcasts. The music heard on this podcast is by Kevin MacLeod, found at incompetech.com, and also artists on pond5.com and audiojungle.net. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual hosts and do not represent Stargate Pioneer Productions, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D, or Gonna Geek. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the property of the Disney Corporation, Marvel Studios, and ABC. No infringement is intended. Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. is copyright 2018.